Hi BB fans, just touching in with you this week to let you know some BB scoop, letting you know what is up to this point so far. If you are not interested in getting any spoilers, then you need to tune out right to the now and check back with us later. Alright, but one thing we do know is that Nicole won the POV. Sean and I let you know that on Sunday if you caught our vlog. If you didn't catch our vlog, make sure you look back and watch that one first and then come back and watch this one. Please make sure to hit the like button. We are so close to 400 and we would be grateful grateful if you guys would do that for us, get us to that 400, and please stay tuned and connected to our vlog. We would be tremendously appreciative. Okay, so we know that Nicole won the POV, so she has a little bit of control in this game. You know, I feel like Nicole and Cliff have been very kind and loving individuals thus far in the game, and for people like them, it is very hard to make tough decisions in which you will hurt others, break your loyalty, and also kind of test your integrity in this game. So here you go. This is when they need to make big decisions that are going to not only hurt others, but help themselves so that they personally can win this game. Nicole and Cliff making a decision to help themselves throughout this game does not make them bad in any means, because I think both of them have played a very clean game, and they should be very proud of themselves, because that is very hard to do in the Big Brother game, especially when you're dealing with characters like Jack, okay, and Jackson. Oh my gosh, and then all the other minions that follow along in their footsteps, if you know what I mean. And that type of stuff isn't even over yet, so stay tuned, because I have a lot to share with you in regards to Jackson and Holly. So Nicole is 100%, as far as I'm aware of at this point in the game, going to take Cliff off of the block. So if you didn't know, Tommy and Cliff are on the block, and Nicole is going to try to take Cliff off, and then guess what? Holly goes on, which I love. That's going to be amazing. Now, the kicker here is, what is Cliff going to do? Again, like I said, the last time that you met up with me last week, question mark, what is Cliff going to do? He is such a wild card in my life. I don't know what to do with him. But please, Cliff, learn from your past mistake and don't do it again. Look out for yourself. Look out for yourself, Cliff, please. I beg you. Let Holly go home. Cut those ties, okay? You know, I do think that there is a question that could come into play. Who is a bigger threat, Tommy or Jackson? And so I guess I can kind of understand, as much as I dislike Jackson, if Cliff decides that he wants to keep Jackson over Tommy, and the reason is because if he was up against Tommy, I don't know, do you guys think Tommy would win or Cliff would win? Please comment below. I am curious to know what you guys think, because that is a touchy thing. If you think of all of the people that are in the jury, who would choose Tommy over Cliff? And that is the crazy part for me, because the jury members are sketchy individuals for the most part. So this is such a weird cast of people, and I'm concerned that the votes in the end are not going to be sincere. How about you guys? What do you think? But then if you put Jackson against Cliff, you could still have the same exact issue. You know what I'm saying? For me watching the game, I think maybe it would be better for him to have, can you believe I'm even saying this? Maybe it would be better for Cliff's game to have Jackson with him at the end, because Jackson is a douche. And Cliff is awesome, for the most part. I like Cliff. I don't like some of his decisions, but maybe that's why he's making that decision. And in that case, if it is a possibility that the jury members would vote for Cliff over Jackson, then he should take Jackson. He absolutely should. You know, I absolutely adore Nicole. I like how she's really thinking things through. I feel like she's a really good game player. You guys, please do not discredit her. Please do not discredit her. There is something to be said for a social game. And in my opinion, the social game is way harder than the physical game. I think that there's one thing that could possibly be happening in Nicole's brain, because this would be definitely happening in my brain, and I have to give her some credit, because as much as I don't like Jackson, if I had to throw Holly up there, my armpits would be sweating. I would be like having such anxiety, and I know Nicole already has anxiety, so putting her up there, what does that mean? If Holly does go home and Cliff decides, hey, you know what, let's go together, let's take Holly out, then Nicole and Cliff, but especially Nicole, is going to have to deal with the aftermath, which is Jackson. And I don't know, is that worth it? I mean, but if you want to win, you have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. And I think that is something, you guys, we have to love on Nicole and like really give her like the utmost kudos if she is willing to cut those ties, because I know that that cannot be easy for her. I know that cannot be easy for her. She is not dumb. She is not a dumb girl. But I think that she also has a way of kind of leveling things out for people. So maybe she'll be able to somehow explain later, if not before, which I don't think that's a good idea if she does it on the beforehand, but if she does it on the afterhand, I think she'll be able to explain to Jackson, hey, we're here at the end. Thank God she has that in her favor, and I just don't see this working for me for A, B, C, and D. And one can only hope that Jackson will understand her rationale. I think that Nicole has played the most respectable game out of everyone. And you guys, if we can all get her to the end, this would make this season of Big Brother so epic. So epic. Absolutely so epic. Now, like I said before, the biggest question is Cliff. So let's see what he does. I think taking out the duos, Cliff, that's just me. If I could talk to you, you have got to take out this duo. Because we're all okay with the duo that is Cliff and Nicole. We love that. Your fans love that. And I know you can't hear us, but you know, that's what we want to see. The last thing that I put on my notes for Nicole was just that, are they going to tell Holly and are they going to tell Jackson beforehand? And my guess is yes. If they haven't already, which I have not seen, but I have seen like contemplation about it, and I just am concerned about that, because this cast does not know how to keep a secret to save their life. And I understand that Nicole has integrity, so quite honestly, she probably will say something to them, and I just don't know how that's going to go over when you have two people that are semi volatile and egotistical and insecure. That's a can of worms you want to rip out right away. I don't know. Good luck, Nicole. You are having a week, that's for sure. That's such a week. Nicole doesn't understand the things that we've seen in regards to the past, and if we all look back, the things that Holly and Jackson participated in regards to Nicole, and maybe even Cliff at times, where they were being very negative and very bully-like, and it's hard. It's hard for me to support them supporting Jackson and Holly when I know what I've seen, and they don't know what I've seen and what we've seen. So that makes it really, 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 really rough. Okay, so we are going to talk about Jackson. I do not think Jackson is the best player. What do you guys think? Let me know below, and I will not be mad at you if you think he's pretty awesome, okay? Because that is your opinion, and you deserve to have that. Like I said before, in my last combo with you guys, he took out Jess, and he took out Annalise. So even though he's really nasty and silly and ridiculous when it comes to his nominations, he can win the POV and the HOH. And so what that does is then puts the arms and the hands tied between Cliff and Nicole and Tommy. So even though I don't think his gameplay is the greatest, the fact that he can win things, that essentially ties them up so that they can't make choices and they are bound by his decisions. That is what makes him dangerous, not because he's a good player. He can win things. He can win things, so that makes him a decent player, but on the social aspect of everything, he's a ding dong. And you all know how I feel about Jackson. Jackson and Holly, actually most recently, they had like a fun event where Holly was doing some ridiculous thing with wine, and they were celebrating and everything, and they got a little bit tipsy. Guess what ended up happening? Jackson and Holly got in a fight. Shocker, they got in a fight. And the funny thing about this fight is that it is all centered around ego and insecurity. Jackson was talking about how he wanted to be a part of this show called The Challenge, and I used to watch The Challenge a million years ago when it was Road Rules and The Real World. So I think it's still on MTV if you are interested, because some BB players get on there too, so I've heard. I have not watched it. You guys can let me know, is it still on MTV? If it is. So anyways, Holly and Jackson, I find, are always talking about what their adventures are going to be after the show. So they are 100% in this, you guys, for the fame. I really feel strongly about this. And the two of them, like I said, they've got ego problems and they've got insecurity problems, and they're dating each other. That is a recipe for disaster. So, you know, Jackson's sitting there talking about how he wants to be a part of the challenge. Well, that challenge involves a lot of partying, as I can remember, a lot. And there's some gorgeous girls that are on there. I wouldn't put it past them to put Annalise on that show. And I wouldn't put it past them, legit, to put Jackson on that show. And so what's going to happen? There's going to be a partying, there's going to be drinking, and he is going to cheat on her. Why wouldn't he? Here's the deal. If you start dating a guy who dumped the girl that was your friend, he was dating her, and he just dumped her and just started dating you immediately and had absolutely no regards for her feelings, don't tell me for 1 second that that woman, any woman, wouldn't somehow in the back of their mind think, you know what, he's going to do the same thing to me. So they started fighting and all that good stuff, and it is just, I don't know, it's rich. It's absolutely rich. They don't want to see each other shine. This is not the relationship that you want to be in. It ain't gonna last after BB. You guys, it's not gonna last after BB, and that's okay. Good for Holly. Find someone that cares about you, okay? Find someone that respects your choices. And when you say no, they say okay, because they respect you and they love you. Holly, that's sad. Do you not know what love means? Have you never been loved by a man? Doesn't that make you guys sad? Because when you watch that, I mean, I do kind of want to be like, Holly, but in a sense, I feel so bad for her. I really do. And I pray that one day she'll find someone who treats her the way she deserves to be treated. Because she'll probably be the version of Holly that we saw in her interview. Because I saw a lot of cool things in Holly. She was one of my top favorites when I first saw in the interviews. And now she's one of my absolute least favorites. But that's because she's going on a journey in her life, and she's lost as, if you know what I mean. But here's one of the positive things about Jackson. He can't win the Final Four HOH. So you guys, let's cross our fingers and hope that we can get Tommy, Cliff, and Nicole here at the end, because that would be the most ideal situation of all, right? All right, so we talked our little bits about Nicole. Let's talk a little bit about Tommy. Tommy, you know, we talked about this with Sean on Sunday, my husband, and we talked about how Tommy ended up spilling the beans about his relationship with Christy. Now, that was a big mistake. He wants to say that it was a big mistake for Nicole to send Christy home, but I think it was even a bigger mistake for him to tell Jackson and Holly that he had a relationship with Christy, because if Jackson or Holly are smart, they will tell Nicole and they will tell Cliff, which will then create a situation where they don't trust Tommy, and Tommy will end up going home, okay? The only thing that we can bet on, and this will be the funny part, is that basically Jackson and Holly are so like in love with themselves that they won't even realize what is happening to them. And especially now that they're fighting, this is great. You know, it's so funny how fame and fortune and money can really, really mess with people, especially people who are not fully stable and completely insecure. Nothing good can come of it. Nothing good. Just try being genuine. People might like you more. Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Alright, but that's okay. I don't mind giving you tips because I don't think it'll do any good anyways. I do want to say that there's nothing that can be accomplished when you give people excuses for their behaviors. You know what I'm saying? I think that Jackson is a result of someone who has been not held accountable for their actions for a majority of their life. And it's really sad because when I was watching the very original fight with Holly and Jackson, you know, Holly came up with an idea that she wanted to do, and even though I personally thought it was kind of lame, whatever, it was her idea. It was her creative outlet that she wanted to try. And even then, Jackson wasn't supporting it, and he was saying something along the lines of, you know, I don't want people to know this much information about me. This needs to be private. Jackson. Hello, Jackson. You're on national television. In fact, you're not even just on national television. You are on a television show that's called Big Brother. Big Brother, okay? You know, have you not watched it? All of the live feeders, people who are interested in the live feed, such as myself and many, many others who are actually us live feeders, he was discounting the live feeders, you guys. He was literally acting like we're not a big deal. We're actually the bigger deal, in my opinion, because the people that are watching the TV show weekly and that's it, that's all they do. They don't have a, they're not creating a voice. They're not creating a dialogue. They're watching it and then they're going on with the rest of their life. And that is what he's counting on. And that shows me that this dude is just totally lost and confused and a complete idiot. He does not watch Big Brother and he should not be winning this game. So here we are, myself, Carter Matt, who I absolutely adore. I love watching his commentary. Give him a shout out and shoot on over to his vlog. You should, because he's really awesome. Jolene, take a look at our accounts that we like to highlight. She's on there. She's another one that's beautiful, funny, super funny. You want to check them out. We all have a voice and we're all going to be talking about you, Jackson, and it is not positive. That's okay though, because you're going to leave this house and you'll find out shortly. And the sad part is, I think people like that, he's not going to learn. But I'm wasting my breath. Anyways, you guys, thank you. I'm going to wrap this up today. But let's honestly pray, hope, manifest, whatever it is. Let's hope that Nicole makes it all the way to the very end of this game. Because if anyone truly deserves to win, it is Nicole. She's done an amazing game. I think one of the best games I've seen thus far. And this will save Big Brother. If she wins, what a victory. What a victory. So let's leave that there. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like. Please make sure to tell your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. All right, you guys, have a blessed rest of your week. We will see you on Sunday. Please tune in. Please tune in. See you later. Ta-ta. Love ya. Bye, guys.